I raised the issue of homosexuality one day because I took ballet lessons and the studio was quite near our house and I hung out there a lot. And there were a number of homosexuals in the ballet. So I said something about it. And my father interrupted me and said, we're going to change the subject now, but you come up to my study after dinner and we'll talk about it. So I went up to his study and he asked me what I knew about homosexuality. So I told him, and he said that it was something that nobody understood very well yet, and that a lot of people were critical of homosexuals, and that was wrong because nobody knew really why they were. And I was to treat homosexuals with respect just like everybody else. Well, I was already doing that because in the ballet it was taken for granted. But then he added, don't talk about it in front of your mother because it's too upsetting for her.
I called the Nazi persecution of homosexuals 1933 to 1945 to examine a very focused way in which the Nazi regime decided to identify a group as falling away from what they considered to be the ideal of Aryan masculinity. The reason why it was focused on masculinity rather than femininity is actually women could reproduce babies, even if they were lesbian. They could reproduce, and so thereby helping the survival of the Aryan genetic jewels of that culture and of that race.
In the camp hierarchy, the men with the pink triangle had to suffer the same inhuman conditions as all other prisoners. Brutal violence by the guards, hunger, disease, slave labor. The numbers 1896 on the right, Josef Kohl's badge number, and a pink triangle on the left. In the background, you see a chart of prisoner markings. The Nazis developed two different categories of prisoners, including the pink triangle for alleged homosexuals.
Collapse everything into the term Holocaust. It's very complicated and has very many different dimensions that need to be explored that are characteristic of a state-sponsored, meticulous, intentional system for eliminating a whole section of the population based upon various kinds of traits that they saw were undesirable.